We are road tripping for a weekend to Galveston and we want to take you along. We're going to introduce you to our newest family member, and we decided to just throw caution into the wind and be spontaneous, not pack anything, any clothes, any food. We are eating out the whole time. So come join us for a gluttonous good time. Let's get started. Hey everybody, we are on our way to Galveston State Park for the weekend, and I just wanted to introduce you to our new family member. This is Waldo. We adopted him from the place that I volunteer. I volunteer for a dog shelter in my area. He only weighs about 3 pounds. We are at Buc-ee's doing our traditional stop, and this Bohemian garlic jerky is fire. I love this stuff. As you know, Hazel is in most of our videos. This is my little sidekick for the past 5 years, and now we've got little Waldo. Hazel is thinking, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And little Waldo is just so excited. This is his first camping trip with his new family. While Corey checks us in, I forgot to mention that Galveston State Park is divided into 2 sections. We are staying on the beach side. The bay side is across the street on the other side. We'll do a park tour of both tomorrow. Little man, it's so windy. Are you blowing away over there? You swaying to and fro? The kiddos are going to stretch their little tiny legs while their daddy sets up camp. That is the primo spot that I wanted. Here is the little path that goes down to the beach. Surprisingly, this part of the beach where we stayed was not busy at all. In fact, every time we went down there, we were the only ones there. But sadly, it was very windy on this trip, so we didn't do as much hiking, but we saw some amazing sunrises. Tonight we have a hunter supermoon. It is bright, so beautiful. See the stars out here. The next morning we got up early so we could go catch the sunrise. As you can see, Waldo's extremely excited. He thinks he's walking. I'm not going to tell him otherwise. I'm sorry for the choppy footage. I was trying to do some time lapse on the sunrise and I could never get right back to the exact same spot that I was before. Well, that was a lot of fun. Let's go do a driving park tour now. We're going to start our driving tour on the bay side of the park, and I want to apologize in advance because Corey's truck is on an off-road chassis, and I am sitting there trying to film, and I'm just bouncing all over the place, so you will have to forgive me. I'll do the best that I can. We are now doing a little circle here where the kayak launch is. Here is a covered pavilion where you can go have picnics with your family. We are now entering one of the 2 loops in the park. As you can see, these spots are very close together. If you don't have a problem with that, then this might be for you. I know a lot of people travel together. This last site here had multiple tents, so I think that was a group traveling together. There's no shade either. So now we are passing the public restrooms, and I'm sorry I did not get out and go do a tour like I usually do when I visit the state parks. But from what I understand, they're recently renovated. We are now on the second loop, which looks like it's more for tents. But can you see how much more spread out the sites are? Here we have the dump station on the right. Now we are passing the area where you can fish, and I know they have a paddleboard tour or something like that. I don't know if it's in this area or not. They have cleaning stations for the fish, and there are a lot of bird watching opportunities as well. Now we are going to drive over to the beach side, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump away. And here's where we checked in. Straight ahead we have the parking lot for the day use area. There are a whole bunch of pavilions, as you can see there, for people to come bring their picnics and eat on the beach. There's a lot of good hiking too. Here are the restrooms, and now we are going to enter one of two of the loops here on the beach side, starting with the sites in the back, 37 through 70. And I apologize, guys, the sun was blaring right into my eyes. I know I'm just making excuses left and right. We had a lot of salt on our windshields. It just was hard to see, and like I said, the sun was beaten down on my camera. All I could see was a black screen. So sadly, I'm here trying to show the campsites inside this first loop, but I'm just aiming at everything but the campsites, I think. Now we are entering the second loop. This is where we're staying. There's that path that takes you to the beach. And if you're along this row right here, your door is going to open the opposite way of where the beach is facing. So it would make sitting in your RV and looking out at the water a little bit difficult. That completes the driving tour of the second loop on the beach side. Where that stop sign is our row. We are in site number 15. As far as this park, I like it a lot. We're by the beach, but it's kind of hard to see from where we are. And the campsites are a little bit closer together. And I don't know if it's the way our camper is parked, but the wind is blowing super hard. It's impossible to keep your door propped open where you can look at the ocean. Thankfully, Corey was able to MacGyver the door open with a 1x4. And we got a neighbor over here that's watching a big screen TV. They got their TV basically bolted down
to
strapped
a table.
They must really want to watch TV outside.
Watching football.
One of the spots that I thought I really wanted, I'm glad we didn't get, because then the window side would be facing the opposite direction of the beach. I believe this is site 26 right here. This is the one that is the closest to the walkway to the beach.
It's a nice place. It's probably the less space in the between the campsites for the usual Texas State Park. But I can understand that they have limited space. It's not that big of a park.
Is it just me, or does Hazel and Waldo look like they're posing for the Step Brothers movie poster? We decided to drive to the Strand for breakfast, and it's always such a scenic drive, just passing all these beautiful old homes that have such character and charm. I am fascinated with the architecture here in Galveston. It is just so beautiful. Now we just need to find a place to park here by the Star drugstore. This old drugstore has been converted into a deli and soda fountain shop. It's got something for every taste bud, and the prices are very reasonable too. I'm going to take you upstairs and kind of give you a panoramic view of the diner slash deli slash soda fountain shop slash old drugstore. They've got a lot of cool 50s vintage memorabilia. I am very fond of 50s themed diners. We actually converted our dining room in our house to a 50s diner. Instead of putting one big table in there, we've got different booths. I've got a lot of my Betty Boop memorabilia, my Happy Days, you name it. It looks just like this place. When I come here, it's like I just stepped back in time. Galveston also reminds me a lot of New Orleans. Many people migrated here to Galveston from New Orleans, and they brought their traditions with them. Now we're going to head downstairs, and here's some of the souvenirs that you can pick up. But it was too crowded to film, so let's go eat brunch, shall we? We'll talk more about our food review when we get back to the camper. It was just too chaotic at this moment. After we got finished eating, we just went for a little walk around the Strand, looked at a lot of the shops. It was still kind of early, so not too many things were open. And we are going to be back here 2 more times in the next 24 hours. So we'll give you a more detailed walkthrough here shortly. But for now, we're going to go back and get a little R&R at the campsite. As we cruise down the seawall, every place from the Pleasure Pier all the way to Galveston Island State Park, there are a ton of restaurants and things to do. You will never get bored here, I assure you. Let's see here. We split a couple of things. We got the curry chicken salad, and we got a fruit cup that had papaya and peaches in it. A typical fruit cup, and it's got honeydew melon and cantaloupe and grapes, but this one had like just different tropical fruit. It was really good. What was that soup called? It was supposed to be a tomato basil, which the waitress warned us about, and I appreciate her doing that. But it was good. He liked it.
Yeah, it was good. It had chunks of tomato and potato and bacon in it.
And they had like little pieces of rye bread that was like a crouton. I don't know why it's called tomato basil. I didn't see any basil. I didn't taste any. And as far as the tomato, I'd say it had more bacon than tomato in it.
It was the only soup they had, was the tomato soup.
Oh yeah, and then we got the dill potato salad, which was really good.
Yeah, I liked it.
We decided to take advantage of being near the beach and sit outside for a little bit. We had a little pavilion that was really good about blocking the wind. Well, only after Corey put a tarp up, and the dogs just would sit there and watch us. They were a little too freaked out by the wind to sit outside with us, but poor Corey, bless his heart, he is just so soft-spoken. I have to do a voiceover here. He was trying to tell me that he had our camping sticker from Wolf Creek, which was our last camping trip, as well as our Galveston Island State Park sticker, and he was just putting them on our camper. Alright, MacGyver, what'd you do over here to block the wind?
I just found a tarp, and I didn't know I had one in there. I knew I had the bungee cords, but I just tied it up to some eyelets they had up there. I guess for tarps and canopies and stuff. So then tied it off to the barbecue pit on this side. So just try to keep the wind off us. Well, it's not affecting me much because I'm still in the wind, but that wasn't the point.
But that doesn't matter. You're blocking the wind for me, so that's what counts, right? Hey guys, are y'all ready to go back to the Strand for a second time? We used to cruise a couple of times a year prior to 2020, and during 2020 I got Hazel, and I had no desire to leave her again. So we got a camper, and I can take her everywhere with me now. But it's still cool to watch the ships. Now I'm about to go in La King's Confectionery, which is another old school candy store / soda fountain. Let's go inside and take a look. They have something to please every palate. Not only do they have an endless array of candy and fudge and bonbons and sugar-free stuff, they also have a little coffee bar. If you're just feeling the mood for some coffee, they make all their taffy in-house. They've got all this wonderful ice cream. I've sampled a couple of flavors. And they have a little area in the middle where you can eat with your family. And again, this is just like stepping back in time. And I couldn't resist getting a scoop of ice cream before dinner. Now let's go eat some German food at Studegarten Tavern. We have front row seats to see the Carnival Jubilee take off. I am so excited for them. I know how fun that is. Here they go. I heard them play the inaugural Danza Kuduro, the Lido Deck anthem. So we ordered these pork cracklings, and they're still warm, and we have a French onion dip. Let's see what these taste like. Oh, those are good. I've never had them with French onion dip before. When we get these in Tennessee, they come with a beer cheese, which, surprising, we're at a German restaurant. You would think it would come with that, but this is good.
I never would have thought of it.
I never would have thought of that either.
It's pretty good. I'd rather have the German beer cheese, but
yeah. There's my dream boat.
That's how you start.
The Carnival Dream, which is a boat. What do you have over here, babe?
I have the spicy fried chicken with garlic sauteed broccoli and mashed potatoes.
Nice.
Try the mashed potatoes.
My fingers are greasy from the cracklings. I'm losing my phone. Are they good?
Real good.
Hazel, can you see the ship taking off? What did you think of Stuttgart?
Let me guess. I mean, they had Radberger beer, which is my favorite from Germany, but they were out. So chicharrones were good, I thought. Never had them dipped in onion dip, French onion dip.
French onion. Are they chicharrones or pork rinds? Is there a difference?
Yeah, it was pretty good. The chicken cutlet I had was real good, and the potatoes and vegetables were good. So overall, it was okay.
I thought that the pork rinds were pretty good. I would have liked them better with some beer cheese dip. I think I said that earlier. And they had a real light, almost like a rice cake taste. If I didn't know any better, I would swear they were like vegetarian pork rinds or something. But the seasoning on them were really good. It was like a light, airy taste. I liked them, and that's probably, in my opinion, the highlight of the meal. I did not really care for my bratwurst. It was supposed to be a Buddha bratwurst. I've actually had better ones in the gas station by our house. And that's not an insult. I love the ones at the gas station by our house. But these weren't as good as those. I did like Corey's chicken cutlet. It was very similar to a schnitzel, but with chicken instead of pork. So you can go up a flight of stairs, and then there's an elevator to get to the second and the third deck, which is all fine and good, but if you're in a wheelchair or if you've got crutches, you need to find a way to get up those first sets of steps. We were having to carry their stroller. We had some drunk people near us, and they were screaming and cussing, and it was just kind of difficult to enjoy ourselves. The service, for being not even 5 p.m., it was like 4:15, 4:30. It wasn't that busy, but yet I felt like service was a little bit lacking. I don't know how many other tables she had on other floors. But the highlight of today's trip was going to Blocking Confectionery and getting that peanut butter chocolate ice cream. That was divine. From what I understand, the creamery that makes that ice cream is one of the first creameries in Texas, so before Bluebell. I thought it was some of the best ice cream I've ever had, so that was a big hit. I'm going to go back and get some more tomorrow. We were fortunate to catch the tail end of the sunset on our last night there in Galveston. The last day there, we woke up and went to the Strand for our third and final time on this trip. We were going to Macio's to check out their spices and get one of their muffaladas. We had some time to kill, and there just happened to be a tea place right next to a coffee place. So we were trying to figure out which one we wanted to do more. We ended up going with the coffee. Let me show you around. That place is so cute on the inside. They make all their syrups in-house. I just met this gentleman. He was so sweet. You can't bring your dogs inside the coffee shop. So he was just by himself, and he stuck his head in and was saying, "Can I place an order?" And then his dog yanked him back out. So I offered to watch his dog for him while he went in, but a barista came out and took his order. And we're gonna just hang out here and enjoy this beautiful weather on our last day before we go to the little spice shop and get our muffaladas.
I went totally out of my comfort zone of just a plain latte, and I got a pumpkin spice latte.
Ooh, you crossed over to the other side.
I don't know, we'll see.
You said that's an old World War II?
Yeah, biplane. Because it's got two wings, they call it a biplane.
So now we're at Macio's, and this is a spice company, so they sell different spices, but they also have like a little lunch counter where they make a couple of items that like red beans and rice. They've got gumbo, etouffee, and this I heard is where the muffaletta was invented. I always thought it was in New Orleans. I guess it was here. I don't know, but I'm very excited to get a muffaletta. Those are one of my favorite sandwiches ever. So let's go inside and take a look. So when you walk in, they have their daily specials, and it's very similar to a deli. They have all kinds of meats and cheeses on display for you to choose from. I was blown away by all their spice selections. I know I'm moving through the store kind of quickly, but if I didn't, we would be here for a very, very long time. So you get the idea. And so I did a walkthrough first, and then I went through and picked up the things that I wanted to buy, like this pistachio butter, this tomato gravy, and what I thought was sourdough. It is sourdough. It's called sober dough, and you actually put beer in it.
I got the gumbo today. Real good. Some of it's thicker roux. Let's try the muffaletta.
I think Waldo wants some.
Muffaletta is great. Bread's all soft.
It kind of tastes like a pizza. I don't know how to explain it, but it's got the cheese and the ham,
Olive
salami.
spread.
It is so good. Do they make the bread in-house?
I think so, yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. I love muffalettas. I love tapenade. Before we head out of Galveston, I had to make one more trip to Law King's Confectionery for another scoop of that delicious peanut butter ice cream and some candy for the road. I hope that you got something out of this video. Sadly, it was too windy on Friday and Saturday to even go to the beach and film much of it. Maybe you got a couple of ideas of things to do. I hope you enjoyed our little tour of the Strand. We will see you on our next big adventure. Y'all take care. Bye, everyone.